Hi everyone. I realize this might be kind of a more difficult assignment. You're doing page 416, 17 through 26 all, and you're graphing these using the steps in class A through F, but not necessarily G. One way you can check yourself if you don't have a key on some of these is to plug these into wolframalpha.com. And that will tell you kind of the shape of the graph, what it can look like, what all the critical points are. It's a math search engine, and it will help you out. Okay, let's do number. Looking for one that's going to be an x equals. So 23 is definitely going to be an x equals. 23 starts off y squared minus 8x minus 6y minus 3 is equal to 0. You know it's going to be an x equals because you see a y squared and you only see a single x. So your goal here is to solve for x to get into graphing form. More so than that, you also have to put it into the form x equals 1 over 4c y minus k quantity squared plus h. That graphing form is going to allow you to figure out what the hk is, what the c value is, and go ahead and graph it. So this is all step A. This is completing the square on the y so that we can get into graphing form. Well, let's get the y's by themselves. We want to group the y's into y squared minus 6y. Still have the negative 3 there. We're going to move the 8x over to the other side for now. Box step, y squared minus 6y plus a box minus 3 equals 8x plus a box. I did this so I could put the boxes on opposite sides. We look what goes inside the box. Half of negative 6 squared is 9. 9. You get y minus 3 squared minus 3 equals 8x plus 9. Let's do a little workaround. I'm going to flip this and make it 8x is equal to y minus 3 squared. Subtract 9 from both sides, you get negative 12. Divide by 8 and you get x is equal to 1/8 y minus 3 squared minus 12 over 8 is the same as 6 over 4, 3 over 2. Okay, that's our A, and that's the graphing form of the equation. For letter B, we want to see if this is left or right. We know it's a left or right because it's an x equals. It's a positive A value, so we know it's right. And C is the vertex. The vertex is going to be negative 3/2, positive 3. Let's start putting this on the axis and graphing what we can. Negative 3/2 is negative 1 1/2 and up 3. There's our vertex. This is going to be a right parabola, and that's going to affect us in a minute here because we're going to look at what the c value is. 1 over 8 is equal to 1 over 4c. Remember, we set this equal to 1 over 4c and solve. C would be equal to 2. Back to the graph. Because it's a right parabola, we're going to go right 2 and put a point. That's our focus. Left 2, do not put a point, put a vertical line. That's our directrix. We can also now put an axis of symmetry. So let's put a red axis of symmetry cutting through the vertex and the focus. Okay, now we've got all our critical points down. D are the coordinates of the focus. We know that's 1/2, comma 3. E is the equation of the axis of symmetry. That's this horizontal line. Y is equal to 3. F, that's the directrix. X is equal to, this would be negative 1, 2, 3, 3.5. Negative. Sorry, let's get that right. Negative 3.5. Okay, G is optional here, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. We want to graph it. It's a right parabola. It's going to go kind of like that, which means it's going to cross the y-axis twice, and it's going to cross the x-axis once. We're going to want both sets of intercepts. So I like to think of G as intercepts. Before we put those, We're also going to put our box points. So we're going to go 3 units up. Our C value is 2, so we're also going to put our box points. So we're going to go, this is 4 units from the focus to the directrix. We're going to go 4 units up and 4 units down. Now, we want the y-intercepts, so we're going to substitute 0 in for x. 0 is equal to 1/8 y minus 3 squared minus 3 halves. If we move the 3 halves over, multiply both sides by an 8. Oops, that should be 3 halves. Multiply both sides by an 8, and you get 12 is equal to y minus 3 squared plus or minus square root of 12 is equal to y minus 3. 3 plus or minus the square root of 12 is equal to y. And that's going to split off into our 2 x-intercepts. We get about 6.5 and negative 0.5. Those are our y-intercepts. Negative 0.5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. Finally, our x-intercepts are where we set 0 equal to y. Y is equal to 1/8, 0 minus 3 squared minus 3 halves. We get 9/8 minus 3 halves. 9/8 minus 3 halves is 9/8 minus 12/8, or negative 3/8. So one of our x-intercepts is negative 3/8. And that would be right about here. So a little bit before 1/2. If we put its opposite point, we got it right there. So even though we have 3 points really close together, we can connect all these and get a pretty good looking parabola that wraps around the focus.